What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Talkative. Man, has it been months since that sentence came out of my mouth. We're back. It's the new year. Happy New Year to those who are listening currently. It's now 2022, in fact. Crazy, crazy to think about. And yeah, we're back, and it's good to be back. Um, I've been on a minor hiatus due to multiple reasons. For me, November going into December, it's always like the hardest time period as a college student because that's the time when everything begins to wrap up. Assignments, final exams, quizzes, classes begin to just have its final set of work and lectures and stuff. So it did get kind of just overwhelming and very hectic at the time, so I didn't really have the time to sit down and give myself, 45 minutes to an hour to record these episodes. So I decided to wait until I was college free, semester free, and I will have more time in these coming months because I will be spending more time at home. So all that time is going to be obviously dedicated to this show, to this podcast. But yeah, it's dude, believe me when I say I've been wanting to pick up these headphones and start recording for the longest time. It's been tough, but I finally got the chance to do it, and I'm here right now. And unfortunately for me, I started off the new year very sick, so I had plans to record this episode as of January 2nd, or like really the 1st of January, the first day of the new year, but I was too sick. So I'm still going through a little minor cough here and there, but I'm feeling better. I'm better enough to take my time to talk with you guys and record this episode. But enough of me, enough of that. I'm back. I'm here now. Um, yeah, we got a few things that I'm going to be touching base on today. A few interesting topics and giving my takes on these certain topics. I want to start off to discuss the future of Talkative and some changes that you guys want to see in the coming months. It's the new year, so I came into the new year very prepared, very amped up, to get these episodes out and just to try to get the best quality, excuse me, out of these episodes. Because that's what's most valuable to me is that these episodes are at best in terms of overall quality, audio quality, the topics that are discussed here. So, in the coming months, there will be some changes. I've gotten feedback from a lot of you guys, a lot of friends and family telling me that they would rather see me as in face cam. They would love to see face cam episodes because they think, and this is true to a large extent, they think that seeing the actual speakers, the actual hosts, interacting with the actual hosts, and seeing them live, moving in the flesh would definitely bring more eyes to these episodes because you guys get to actually see me, see what I'm like, interact with me, etc. So I am thinking about investing in a proper webcam. I'm not sure what company yet, if it's Logitech or any other webcam companies out there. I will be looking into that. So you'll probably be seeing some webcam episodes pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. Aesthetics. In terms of aesthetics for Talkative, there's gonna be some changes, and since I will be doing webcam episodes soon, those will be conducted on Zoom. And I've been watching videos, I've been doing my research. There's a lot of crazy things that we can do with Zoom in terms of like borders and aesthetics and looks to the podcast. So keep an eye out for that. So those are some few changes. Also, runtime, the length of these episodes. A lot of you have told me that although 1 hour episodes are great, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, that you guys would rather see a reduced time of at least 40 to 45 minutes because that way I'm not overdoing it in a way and driving listeners away for the episodes being too dragged on and too long, right? Instead, I'm leaving you guys wanting more with shorter episodes, and quite frankly, it leaves an easier job on me because I don't have to sit here recording 1 hour long episodes. So yeah, this episode might be around that range, 40-45 minutes, if not less, since that's what some of you guys have been requesting and give me feedback on, which by the way I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the constant feedback. I know that I haven't been consistent, and this is only the third episode that I've recorded, but you know, for something that I just started. This is my own platform. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's not going to be easy, and I knew that from the beginning. So the fact that I still have people giving me feedback and asking me, "Hey, what's the next episode of Talkative? I've been waiting. I can't wait for the next episode." It really brings a smile to my face, and it's something that I can't really leave for granted. Like, I thank you guys for that. You guys are amazing for that, and keep going with the feedback. Really appreciate it over here. But yeah, let's get started. Well, basically, those are one of the key points that I wanted to touch base on was the future of the podcast for the new year. And those changes will come gradually. They're not gonna come right away. I still gotta see the proper webcam. I gotta for the aesthetics. It's kind of a surprise, so I don't want to say anything about it, but it will require some work, some software work and stuff. So, or some work with software and different applications. But yeah, that's one of the key points that I wanted to touch base on for today. Um, Next topic we'll be discussing the technology that I want to see for the new year, and obviously I got inspiration for this topic through Marquez Brownlee, aka MKBHD. He recently just dropped a video on his channel discussing tech that he would like to see for the new year of 2022. So I just want to give my light on that. There's a lot coming out next year, or this year rather. Um, a lot that a lot of people have been anticipating, looking forward to. Just to give some broad examples, Tesla Cybertruck, the weird looking cubic toy looking truck, being manufactured by Tesla. A lot of people have been waiting on this. A lot of people have been anxious to drive these, to put these out there on the streets, on the roads. And it's been delayed a handful of times due to production. Obviously, everything going on with COVID. But that's definitely a gadget that people want to see for 2022. And quite frankly, it's a gadget that I would like to see too, because it's definitely a unique looking truck. Like when you just see it through images and renders, you say to yourself, how can anyone drive anything like this? This looks like something straight out of Mars. But it's interesting to see what it's going to be like in terms of driving performance and how much loads it can handle, since it is a pickup truck. Um, so yeah, that's definitely one of them. Number two being iPhone 14. Now, for reference, I've been on the new iPhone 13 Pro for 2 months now. Phenomenal device, phenomenal phone. 120 hertz display took me at all, dude. Like jaw dropping. Coming from 60 hertz displays for 3 phones previously and experiencing that high refresh rate for the first time. Amazing stuff. And the triple camera setup, for me, the camera is amazing on this phone. Overall, this is a great phone, but 2022 is looking to be even greater, because we're finally getting a almost, and I say almost because it's not really completely notched, well, not notchless, but completely rid of sensors and stuff. We don't have a full-on display, but we will be getting a hole punch front camera display with no long notch at the top. all the Face ID sensors, the proximity sensors, all the different sensor tech will be hidden within the display, which is pretty, it's a long time coming, for Apple. But if the rumors are true, if the leaks are true, heading into, this year's September event, then this is definitely going to be a leap forward. In terms of specs, there's a lot of reports saying that the 14 is going to be going from a 12 megapixel setup on the camera to 48 megapixels, which means it's going to be able to fit in more into a single frame, and it's gonna lead to better photo quality because of the higher megapixel rate, which is phenomenal. iPhone has been on 12 megapixels for years now because they didn't really have a need to bump up the megapixel rate, because photo quality with 12 megapixels for Apple has been great nevertheless. But these articles do seem quite promising. I mean, it is early, it's only January of this year. The iPhone 13 lineup is still selling at a high rate. So, but still, seeing these reports it's a great thing to see for Apple fans and iPhone users themselves. Not just that, the RAM size for iPhone 14 will be ramped up a little bit from 6 gigabytes of RAM to 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is always a plus, inching close to double digits, 10 to 12 gigabytes. Some flagship Android devices are already up there, which is insane, especially when it comes to gaming or using high efficiency apps that tend to drain your battery a lot. Having that much RAM is always a plus when it comes to using particular apps that, really put your device to work. So 8 gigabytes of RAM is always a plus. They're going back with the classic. At least this was a leak a few months back before the iPhone 13 Pro was even released or revealed. Apple might be going back to that classic iPhone 4S look when it comes to the 14, which is great because the iPhone 4 lineup had probably one of the best designs next to like the iPhone 5. It's gonna be having the speaker grills, the classic speaker grills, no camera bump, because the iPhone 4S just had straight up lens. It wasn't like lifted a little bit through the camera bump. No camera bump, it's just straight up lens. Glass front and back, classic speaker grills, the classic circular volume buttons, and let me tell you that's relatively a minor detail, but if we manage to see those volume buttons back in 2022, it's definitely going to be a nostalgia trip for people who owned iPhone 4S's or any iPhone 4. So definitely something to look forward to if it does come true. Another design change that people have been wanting ever since we went to stainless steel when the iPhone 10 was revealed back in 2017. People loved it. People thought that it gave the phones a more premium feel, and it just looked nice. So from stainless steel, we go to titanium. People have been wanting a titanium band for such a long time when it comes to design wise, when it comes to an iPhone, and it does lead to just more sturdiness. This iPhone would be probably one of the most durable iPhones if it does come out with a titanium band surrounding the corner or around the iPhone. In terms of software, software, Touch ID, in-display Touch ID. So similar to what we were discussing about the notch, people, especially in this day and age, I've been through it. Using Face ID with a mask on is definitely one of the worst things. Living in this pandemic era, people want Touch ID to come back, at least as a second biometric authentication. Like you can keep Face ID, but include Touch ID as well if Face ID does fail. Like include it into the system. So not only should you unlock your phone with Face ID, but do it with Touch ID as well. Um, People want it back, and they want it within the display because obviously there's no more home buttons. And yes, that's definitely something that, especially now living with COVID and this entire pandemic, Apple really needs to really needs to look into including Touch ID again because it's essential. It's not really much of like a feature we want back because we miss it. It's more of an essential feature that we want back. Especially in these tough times that we have trying to unlock iPhones with mask on in 2022. So yeah, in-display Touch ID, could it make it to the iPhone 14? It's too early to tell, but we shall see within the coming months. And a few other gadgets, and one little thing that I want to touch base on in terms of tech is the metaverse. Now I know even people who aren't tech savvy, they've heard of what Facebook has done. They changed their entire company name to Meta, putting focus on virtual reality and creating different, worlds in the virtual aspect. Really promoting Oculus Rift, which is Facebook's own VR headset. And just some of the headlines that I've been seeing recently on YouTube and Facebook really has me scratching my head. Like, I've seen headlines like you can make money in the metaverse now, and high-tech gloves are being developed so that people can actually feel things in the metaverse and actually have a sense of touch in the virtual world. And a lot of people, like friends have told me, family have told me, they really have high concern for this because it's a way that we're kind of drifting away from reality in a way with this whole metaverse news going around and the buzz going around with Meta. And I mean, to me it sounds pretty awesome, like, coming from somebody who has a passion in tech and who loves this stuff. It sounds awesome. I've never owned speaking of headsets, this is gonna be a segue to my other piece of tech that I would love to see, going back to Apple. I've never owned an Oculus Rift or Oculus headset. I never really had a headset of my own with VR. I've used them before, but I've never actually owned one. But see, here's the problem with this. Not only is it drifting away with reality, is it really going to be the new norm? Like, are people really going to wake up, put on a headset, go to the metaverse, and like go have a job within the metaverse, or like not like date within the metaverse, have relationships within the metaverse? Like, is this really going to be a transitional period for society in the years coming? I don't think so. At least I hope not. I mean, we all hope not. We still have time to live in reality. We can't be drifting away to new dimensions or new worlds, digital worlds. It's only 2022. It's not like we're living in the year 2030, 2040. So I don't think we need to go there too soon. I think there's still time. We still need to live in everyday reality, and we still need to, not we can't have tech be this thing where we're already going to be taken over by it, or it's going to be the new norm, or this is going to be the new reality where everything is done digitally, like money is being made digitally. Like I said about relationships and just making a living, we're not there yet. So all the concerns that people have, I feel like this is just a way of entertainment. This is just for the overall experience, because if it is the new norm, well, oh man, it's definitely going to be tough. It's going to be tough because not only in just people our age already, but the kids too, man. Like the kids, the next generation of kids are not gonna want to go outside or like go out to the beach or travel because everything that they're gonna love to do can already be done digital at that point. So they're just gonna tell their parents and then tell their mom, give me the Oculus and let me go to the beach. And then it's gonna feel weird. And I feel like kids need to definitely feel um nature in real life. And I feel like, and that's one of the hardest things when it comes to technology, in my opinion, is the heavy influence that it has on the kids of today. Like you already got like toddlers and 1-year-olds and 2-year-olds already know how to navigate an iPad, even sometimes better than people who are tech savvy themselves. And you're like, wow, like that's just it's their generation. It's what they're surrounded in. That's why there's a lot of families and a lot of parents that take the motive to kind of limit them from tech at an early age because they don't want them to be involved in it. They don't want them to be stuck in it so early on because then they forget about reality. They forget about going out with friends and playing with friends and going to school and having fun outside. And this is coming from me. This is coming from somebody who's mostly inside, whose main source of entertainment for me at least, or work is tech. But I do value going outside. I do value finding that space and that break between tech consumption and actually enjoying nature and enjoying what the world is. It's important. It's needed. We're human beings. We're social creatures, and I feel like tech consumption for the kids of today, it's a lot. It's a lot. It could be good in some points and very negative and bad on other points. So, metaverse could have had it could have a big impact if kids are exposed to it, but we'll see as the time goes. I mean, like I said, augmented reality and virtual reality, it's a cool concept, it's a cool idea, but it shouldn't overshadow what reality really is and what the world really is. You know, that's just my take on it, but nobody should be worried. We're not gonna be making money through Oculus VR, playing VR jobs and making money that way. No, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah, in terms of tech, speaking of VR, I will say a few more adjectives, and I will segue into the final stretch, the final group of discussion that we're gonna have for this episode is Apple's VR headset, Apple's rumored VR headset. That's been renders, there's been CAD files, there's been leaks, there's been rumors. Apple themselves have been wanting to develop their own rendition of a VR headset for the longest time with I think four, if I'm not mistaken, four OLED 8K panels on the headset, which is insane. OLED being probably one of the best methods of displays in today's day and age, dealing with color, resolution, pixels, and everything, HDR, and of course having it be in 8K, which is like over 33 million single pixels. Resolution on these headsets are going to be insane. Like, I can't imagine playing certain apps or playing certain games and using certain apps on these headsets, or even watching videos. Like, probably watching a film on this headset is going to be better than watching on a regular standard 4K TV. But yes, those were some of the rumored specs. And I mean, if you were to look at the CAD files, it looks pretty. I mean, it looks like a standard headset, or standard VR headset. But I wonder how Apple is gonna go about this. This VR headset, could it come out in 2022? It's a stretch because Apple has been hinting and just teasing other products that they've been working on, but that's for another episode. I just don't want to make this an all Apple episode. But yeah, that's a piece of tech that I would love to see, but it's probably a stretch, and we probably won't see it this year in 2022. Is there anything else that I'm missing? So we got Tesla Cybertruck, Tesla Roadster. Going back to Tesla. This is like Tesla's sports car. Out of the entire lineup, they got sedans, they got SUVs, they got trucks. But this is like their version of a sports car, and this was supposed to come out in 2020. We all know what halted production back then, and it's still halting production for a lot of tech products now. Um, could it come out 2022? Possibly. I mean, with all the other things that Tesla is working on and want to release in 2022, you got the Tesla semi truck and obviously the Cybertruck. This could be one of the final production vehicles in the lineup to come out. So if it doesn't come out this year, it's definitely gonna be coming out next year. Um, and yeah, I mean, that's on my list of tech products that I would love to see for 2022. Mostly Apple and mostly Tesla. I just love watching videos on EVs and how they perform and reviews and all that. So those are just a few things that I would love to see this upcoming year. And yeah, that's my list of 2022 tech possibly. So this is gonna be the last area of topic discussion today. To end off episode 3, we are gonna be talking about the influence of, or my opinion, on colleges and universities that have centers for students with disabilities. Now, this is something that I've grown heavy on, especially since I've been going to Nassau for the past year now, and I've been under the Center of Students with Disabilities over there, using or getting provided accommodations for exams and working with the people over there. Amazing people, great people to work with. And this is something that's obviously been on my head for a while, and I've grown liking of it. I like that a lot of colleges, a lot of like big colleges and high-end universities have this influence. They have this level of representation with students that have disabilities, and to the point where they have their own center, their own space, their own set of counselors, officers, and people that work there. It just shows that colleges and universities definitely set the bar for disability representation in a way that they really love. They really love and care for providing for these students, and they want to show that love. And it's really something that should be widespread, and I think there is, because multiple colleges have students with some disabilities that offer accommodations and benefits like coaching, life coaching, therapy, different ATs, assistive technologies to use when you're taking tests and exams, and just a network of wonderful people that the students can work with. It's just great. It's just great to see that influence of help and benefit that these colleges have for these students that have learning disabilities like autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and physical disabilities like my own, like cerebral palsy. It's great to see. And I was doing some research earlier today, actually for this episode, and I see a list of 20 great colleges that benefit students with learning disabilities. And then within that list, there were 2 New York colleges. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick. There was Adelphi and Hofstra, which is right here in Long Island. And it's, again, very great thing to see. Just that level of representation for these students. They offer things like life coaching, like I mentioned, different levels of therapy, different programs, interactive programs. You can go out and develop your own network, your own group of friends, connections. It's a great environment, and I feel like, well, for me, when I first came to Nassau and I found out that the college has a certain center like that for students with disabilities, it felt like I was right at home. Like I felt super comfortable when I found that out, and it was just a great welcoming feeling. Like this was something that could definitely bring me into this college even more now that I know that there's more people just like myself that go to this college, and again, I'm aware of this, of course. Gotta be open-minded. Can't think yourself as the only one, especially when there's over 1 billion people that have a disability in this world. So I was like, it's great. It's great that this college is spreading awareness, that they're representing students that have disabilities, that they're benefiting to the best that they can. So yes, this definitely brings a home welcoming feeling when colleges have these type of centers and help areas for these particular students, and this is great to see. So yeah, this is my opinion on that. I feel like all colleges, or most colleges, need to implement something like this. Not a direct center, like a direct building where they offer accommodations, um, but programs, programs that students, before they apply to a college, they can enlist in. And within that program, you have guaranteed benefits and accommodations for extra time during exams and certain things like that. This definitely should be a widespread movement, provide like just having more of these centers within these universities, because college campuses are huge. Obviously, you have building blocks for everything, for cafeterias, for classes, for computer rooms, labs. So definitely, out of all those particular buildings in the college campus, a center for students with disabilities should be an essential building for all those colleges. So I think it's great. It's phenomenal. Um, keep keep going on in America. That's definitely something that, like I said, should be national, widespread to most colleges in America. Have more representation for these kids. Have more showing, more love for these kids, because they want to come to these colleges. They want to study. They want to build connections. They want to get their education, making friends, just like everybody else. So keep having with that high level representation. Phenomenal look. So yeah, 32 minutes. I think that's gonna be enough for today. Again, short episodes. You guys have been recommending these short episodes. So we're gonna try to keep it within this range, 30-minute or 40 to 45-minute mark. Oh, to end off, we always end off these episodes with a disability fact of the day for the episode. So this actually correlates with what I just discussed, and having these centers for students with disabilities. The fact is, 19% of undergraduates in 2015 and 2016 reported having a disability. In 2015 through 2016, the percentage of undergraduates who reported having a disability was 19% for male students and 20% for female students. So that's the closing fact of the disability fact of the day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Again, short episodes. You guys have been wanting these short episodes, so I will give them to you. And we will be back with more. This is not it. The grind has begun. Happy New Year. This is a year for new beginnings. Just overall changes for this podcast. I want to just do more, do better, and at the end of the day, do my best. Because like starting anything, a small business, your own platform, your own Twitch channel, YouTube channel, it's not day and night. So this is definitely going to be something that's going to take work, dedication, and I'm all here for it, man. So thank you for taking the time to listen. This has been Jason Martinez. This was episode 3 of Talkative. I'll see you guys soon for episode 4. Good day.